Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to test out a brand new grapple that I got from auction here recently to help clean up some storm damage that we've had from an ice storm that went through the Midwest. As you've probably seen in many other videos, I've used this grapple quite a bit on the Kioti tractor and on the Bobcat, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. This is a Titan Attachments 72-inch HD root rake grapple. It works great, I love it, but the thing is it is really heavy. This thing weighs close to 1,000 pounds, I believe, and when it's on the front end of the tractor, I can really feel it on the front end, and I feel like it's probably putting some unneeded wear and tear on the pins and bushings. So my thought process was to leave this for the Bobcat, since that's really what it's intended for, and I'm probably going to use this lighter weight one on the tractor. And you can see here on the plate, it says that this weighs 572 pounds, even though it's 78 inches. So this one is actually 6 inches wider than this one, but this weighs half as much. But we can see here, the bottom teeth really don't come out near as far as this one. So it's gonna be interesting. I might have to get used to how this thing works, but I'm gonna get this unpacked from this nice metal shipping crate that it came in. And it looks like we've got some grease fittings here that we'll need to grease up. I believe there's one on each side, and that's really it. So let's get this thing unpacked and greased up and get it hooked up to the Kioti tractor and test it out. My cutting wheel broke. That's always safe. Let me get another one on here and we'll get the other side cut off. All right, well, I got the metal cage taken off, and overall this looks to be like a pretty well built grapple. The metal seems to be just as thick as the one over here, but I do see a couple things that concern me. You know, I told you there's a grease fitting here, which is great because we've got a pivot point, and it looks like they want us to add our own grease fitting here, which is fine, no big deal. I've got a kit. Hopefully I can find one that'll match. But if we come over to the other cylinder, it didn't look like there was a grease fitting on here, but if I look inside, they've actually got it located inside. So I think they threaded it on the wrong end, because that's going to be a chore to get a grease gun inside the grapple to grease that. It'd be a lot easier to do it out here. And I thought about just, you know, rotating the cylinder around, but I can't do that because the hydraulic hoses fit right here and here, and it doesn't look like there's a grease fitting at all down here, which isn't as big of a deal because this doesn't really pivot a whole lot. But on my other one over here, there's 3 on each side, and over here it really just came with the one right here. So I'm going to try to find some grease fittings to fit inside these holes. If not, I'll probably have to take these out, put them in here just to get it greased up for today, and then find some that'll fit in here. But, you know, other than that, it seems to be pretty good quality. You know, these teeth are replaceable. They're just pinned in right here. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I paid, I think, 900 bucks for this grapple, and I thought that was a pretty good deal, considering, you know, it does only weigh 500 pounds. So let me get this thing greased up and we'll get it on the tractor and start cleaning up some pine limbs. So I found my grease fitting kit, and it looks like these are going to take the M10 size right here. So what I did, I just put a straight one on this cylinder, and to solve the problem with this one being on the inside, I put a 90-degree one on this side. So now it's facing up. I can just go straight down with the grease gun. All right, so we've got grease on the pivot pins. I'm gonna get a rag and clean all this up a little bit, and we'll get it hooked up to the tractor and get rolling. Come on. All right, I've got the hydraulic hoses hooked up. It's all greased up. I've got it latched down. So now let's fire the tractor up and see if this thing actually opens and closes. Alright, I was a little nervous there for a minute. I didn't think it was going to work, but I think it just had to fill the lines with hydraulic fluid. Alright, seems to be working. Let's go check it out and see what it looks like on here. Alright, not bad at all. It looks pretty good on there. The orange even matches. Look at that. Well, my initial thoughts are so far so good. I noticed that it's definitely lighter than my other grapple. the other grapple, when I open and close it, the whole front end of the tractor will just shake. And I know that can't be good on the pins and bushings. The other thing I noticed is this not sticking out as far as the other grapple. It's a little bit harder to see where I'm going and where I'm digging into from the operator's seat of the tractor, but that's just something I'm gonna have to get used to. But overall, it seems to be working just fine, so I'm gonna hop back on there and grab a few more loads and see how it goes. We have a problem. Let me go park, show you what's going on. All right, looks like we blew a hydraulic line. Not sure where. I saw a lot of, okay, are these fittings loose? You know, I did not check that when I hooked them up. I saw hydraulic oil spray out. Let's, yeah, it's everywhere. Let me get some wrenches, tighten this up, take a look at it. Hopefully I didn't blow a line. Stay tuned. Yeah, these were definitely loose. Hopefully that's what the problem was. I should have checked these before I installed it. Yeah, that one got at least a whole turn on it. Oh yeah, all of these need to be snugged. I knew something was up. I tried to close the grapple and it wasn't doing anything at all. Just kind of hesitating. Let's check the other one here. Oh my gosh, yeah, these are loose as can be. I can tighten it by hand. Well, let me fire it back up and see what happens. saw some dripping. I don't know if that's old fluid or if it's still leaking. Let me go dump this off and we'll take a closer look at it. It's still dripping. I've got it parked here. It was still dripping quite a bit, so I'm gonna unhook the hydraulics, take a closer look at it and see what's going on. But yeah, not off to a great start so far. Stay tuned. Hopefully this is fixable today. Everything seems tight, so hopefully what was dripping was just old hydraulic fluid. I don't know. I'm gonna hook them back up. Hopefully one of these hoses is not poked on the inside. It's hard to tell because it's got the sleeve on it, but yeah, I'm gonna wipe off the couplers, and that way I'll know if it's fresh oil dripping or not. There we go. Let's try this again. It seems to be working for now. Time will tell if it's gonna last. I'm gonna go pick up a pile. Actually, one of the neighbors cut up some of the branches and put them in a pile for me for the grapple. So let's go get that real quick and see if we spring another leak. I think that's going to do it for the video today. That last bite, I think I got the hydraulic leak stopped. It didn't seem to be dripping at all, but I was also starting to leave some ruts in the yard, so it's still a little wet today to be out here. But overall, you know, I'm happy with it. It seems to have a lot of power behind it, and I can grab some pretty big loads with it, being that it's 78 inches wide and only 500 pounds. You know, it's a pretty good fit for this tractor. But time will tell. You know, I've never heard of this brand before, but I got a pretty good deal at it at an auction, so I figured, what the heck. I will keep you guys updated. I'm going to be using this quite a bit in the next few weeks, as we've still got a ton of trees down around the property. So I will update you if I have any more issues with it. But I hope you enjoyed this video, so stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.